That's right, mother freakers. The evil empire is back. We're going to talk some Yankees. Spring training 2018. The terror they're going to unleash in 2018. I made a previous video to this effect, and I talked about how the 2017 Yankees, how they looked at me, how I saw them, how I perceived them coming out of spring training, and what they actually did during the season. Let's get back in our time machines and flip back for just a bit, okay? But we're gonna catch up, so bear with me. Let's go back to 2017. The Yankees surprised all of baseball. It was supposed to be a rebuilding year in New York. Right. Had a unproven catcher in Sanchez who came up for like the last month of the season, the previous season, hit 20 home runs, but still was unproven. That could have just been a hot kid on a hot streak and just got lucky, even though he had potential and as far as the farm system. But he was basically unproven, let's face the facts. Had a rookie outfielder who played awful his 15 to 20 games the year before. He hit about 170, 180. But was big, was brawny. If he gets it in the air and ever could hit it, you could see that he was going to do some damage. But he was an unknown, a relatively unknown, full of potential. And had a pitcher as well who showed flashes of potential, that he could dominate in spells, but was inconsistent. So no one knew what he would actually bring. And that was Severino. The pundits, these experts, had the Yankees slated to finish third in the East. Behind Boston, of course, Toronto, maybe even Tampa Bay. Yeah, right. I had a previous video when I had mentioned again that I saw them developing in spring training, and I saw them playing well, and I was saying to myself, wow, these guys look good. And even though these pundits and these so-called experts were ripping the Yankees and saying, okay, they're going to be dog meat this year, I didn't see that. And we all know how that ended up. That team last year, this team that was teetering on the brink of being mediocre and being just terrible, end up winning 91 games. Push Boston until the final week to win that division. And when they went into the wild card, they did get the wild card, and when they eventually went into the wild card, they showed grit, unreal type of resiliency in the wild card. They were down 3-0 to Minnesota after the first inning, and end up winning that game going away. Down 3-0 with your ace on the mound. After the first inning, getting your ace pulled and was still in trouble. And you end up winning that game going away. And win the wild card, of course. You go into the divisional series, and you're down 0-2 to the Indians right off the bat. And the Indians had just went on a streak of their own, like either broke or came real close to breaking the consecutive win streak. They went on a run that was incredible, and everybody had them pegged as probably the favorite. I mean, definitely pegged as the favorite, even though Houston was making a lot of noise out there as well. But they were down 0-2 to the Indians. And any other team that didn't have this resiliency would have probably broke. And just, okay, we're satisfied. We just did it. We put down a lot of people. We overachieved what a lot of people said that we would do. And let's just call it that. We had a good year, a progressive year, and let's try to rebuild. Okay, no. Even though they were down 0-2 to the Indians, they pushed that to a fifth game and ended up winning the fifth game in Cleveland, out-dueling Kluber twice in that divisional series. Went on to face the Astros and pushed them to 7 games before finally relinquishing and losing and calling it a season. Pushed the Astros to 7 games. This team that the pundits thought would finish third place in their division pushed the Astros to 7 games. And here's the kicker. You want to here's the kicker. Had a 3-2 lead going back for those last 2 games that were in Houston, and just got cold offensively. I mean, they just got offensively cold. So let's capsule it now. In 2017, these kids that I saw end up finishing 24-9 in spring training. I think they won the Grapefruit League. And look what they did in the season. This current cast of Yankees, the 2018 version, are 11-5 in the spring training, but it's different. It's completely apples and oranges now. Those Yankees that showed that resiliency, that edge, that type of grit that would, can beat you in small ball, that just were aggressive, just were a nice niche of guys who just seemed like they just came together and played well. They have been replaced by some arrogant, some truculent, some just egotistical guys who know now that they can just bludgeon you to death. The Yankees they know now that they could just go and just beat the hell out of you. And this is the mentality they're showing. So these two teams, these two spring training versions, are both winning. 11-5 is a good record. 24-9 was a great record. But it's just the way they are. I mean, the mentality, the way they look now, the way they present themselves. They are walking around with so much swag now. It's pathetic. And like I said, they have this mindset like they know they could just beat teams to death. The other day, they were playing some team, some jabroni team. The Eagles, I'm sorry. The Phillies maybe, or the Braves, I think. And they were down 4-5-1. And I left that game, something called, and I had to go and take care of some business. But when I left the game, I was like, it's no way the Yankees going to be held down to 1 run. They end up winning that game and end up clubbing this team to death. Their pitching in the spring has so far been very good. They've been pretty good. And this is what these so-called pundits say. Even now, you hear these guys, the Yankees are going to be a wild card team if they don't address their pitching. We have to get a Garrett Cole. We have to get a Lance Lynn. We have to get Alex Cobb. We have to. Before that, it was oh no, they have to make a move for Arrieta. If they don't, listen. You are talking. I wonder where these guys get all of this shit, because the Yankees, I believe, and if I'm wrong, somebody comment and catch me, because I'm not too big to take the hit. I believe they had the 3rd best staff in all of baseball last year. I think they had the 3rd best staff in all of baseball. So how could the 3rd best staff in all of baseball suddenly be so terrible, so ridiculed, that it's a must? If you don't get this next big pitcher, if you don't get a Yu Darvish, if you don't get a Jake Arrieta, if you don't get this Alex Cobb, if you don't get Lance Lynn, you're in trouble. No. The same staff that took you within 1 game of reaching a World Series should be good enough now with this offensive improvement. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had the 3rd best staff in all of baseball. And this swag that they have, this cockiness that they have, I tell you, being a New Yorker, I absolutely love it. Like I said before, the evil empire is back, and what you should do is you should embrace it and run with it. Don't try to downplay it. Just wear it on your chest like a badge of honor and let everybody come at you, because they will, and you just have to be prepared to deal with them. And that's it. Okay. The pickups they did this year was incredible. Picking up Peterson was a good utility pickup. Picking up Brandon Drury was an excellent pickup. Picking up Adam Lynn was a great pickup. So they have done things to address things to make themselves to be a lot deeper. And I do believe that Gleyber Torres is going to thrive at second base. He's going to thrive with the Yankees, even though he's having a pretty slow spring. He's going to thrive for the Yankees because it's not going to be a lot for him to do. If he comes out that season and hits 250, 260, 6, 7 home runs, knocking about 40 runs. He had a pretty good initiation, and that'll be enough for them to do what they have to do, and he can play at that level. But I think it's good. I think it's good. I think he's going to fit like a glove. He's not going to have the stats that Castro had immediately, but I think it's going to be a seamless transition, and he's going to do well, and he's going to eventually end up being a perennial all-star himself. But again, let's look at this 2018 edition. They are arrogant, like I said. They are cocky, like I said, and they are loaded with swag. They don't present it outwardly. It's not very overt with them, but you can just feel it. You can just see it. Even Judge, who says all the right things, always seems like he's a guy who always acting like the cat that just ate the canary. Like, I know something about you, I just don't want to divulge it right now. Even though he says all the right things, he has a swag about him too, and an edge about him that's even more apparent now. It's almost like a Derek Jeter. But it's become even more apparent. So, I mean, I really like what they are doing. I like although I love Girardi, I think it was time for him to go, and I like the Aaron Boone replacement as the manager. So, these 2018 Yankees are going to be it's going to be something else. Having Judge and Stanton bat in the first inning is going to be instrumental in what they have to do and what they're trying to accomplish, because I look at that to be an inning where it's going to have the starting pitchers that go against them under so much stress in that very first inning, when you have to deal with both of them, and either of them can take your ball out of the park, hit it into the stratosphere at any time, and then you have Gardner, a gamer like him, somebody that's prone to get on base. So I think having the pitcher have to face both of them in the first inning, I think it's going to be very taxing, and it's going to be a way of demoralizing the pitchers. And then the thing about them is there are no safe spots in this lineup. No safe spots in this lineup. Drury is such a big improvement over Chase Headley, it's not even funny. That's a no-brainer. And like I said before, the small loss that they'll probably have offensively with the loss of Castro is going to easily be offset with everything else they got. So there are going to be no breathers in this lineup. You're going to have no soft spots in this lineup. I believe they're going to be like a team that terrorizes pitchers and demoralize teams and pitchers. And I mean, I look for them to be the Yankees. I look for them to have a great season. But the thing about being a Yankee fan, for us to have a great season, for us to relish this season, it has to be at the demise of all the other teams that's coming against us. So, got a bit of advice for the Minnesotas and Bostons and Houstons and the Seattles and the Tampa Bays and the Clevelands and all the other teams that we're going to come and play. When you see the Yankees coming, or when you see the Yankees on your schedule, you better lace up your bootstraps and break out the big guns, if you got big guns. Because whatever guns you have, trust me, you will be eventually outgunned. Yankees are coming to town. Bar the windows. Hide under the bed. Hide the women and the children. You think it'll do you any good? I doubt it. Once again, New York Yankees, 2018. Get ready. And I will end this video as I began, because the evil empire is back. Which means, you guys, all you jabronis who root for these other teams, you have two choices. Get on the bandwagon and love the pinstripe and the greatest sports organization that ever existed. Either that, or you suffer the indignation of being demoralized and crushed. So, Yankee fans, feels good, right? This is T, and this was The Expanse. I hope you like, I hope you share, and I hope you subscribe. Take care. I'll see you soon.